Tim Gears as time goes along. For St Anselm, it's their third game in this building this year. They actually started the season as part of Bentley's tip-off tournament, lost the opener against Concordia, bounced back with the win over Georgian Court. That started a 5-game winning streak, and they dropped a pair before bouncing back with the win over St. Michael's. Falcons in the home whites going left to right have the first possession. The Hawks in their road blues, they wore white the entire first weekend. Here's Richmond, who gets off to a good start with the pull-up jumper mid-range.
You see Richmond get off on a good start. He talked about his slow shooting night the other night in the loss against Southern Hampshire. Got to feel good for him to knock down his first jump shot of the afternoon.
He missed a number of shots he usually would make, but also Southern Hampshire defended him really well. You have to give them some credit for it. Cody Ball step back three is all net, and the Hawks.
He is a very streaky player, his Ball, and that is dangerous for the Falcons. He makes that step back three on the right wing. That was a very tough shot. Well defended, Stephen. Ball is a very good player. When he's got it going, he's among the best players in this league.
He shoots 51% from beyond the arc. Here's Mello Klein to the basket, and the lefty uses the window for two.
He's gotten very good his freshman year. Transfer, he actually attended a prep school prior to the Hockomock League. I had a chance to coach against him a couple of times when he was at Sharon High School. He's a very gifted, very smart basketball player.
Going to travel on Chris Paul, who I'm sure is...
Yeah, that joke never gets old, right? I mean, that poor guy. I mean, can we go back Christopher or something like that?
Well, his name is his name, and he's proud of it.
It's too bad. Oh, not too bad. It's the guy's name, right? I mean... But gosh, I mean, it just never gets old, never gets sick of hearing that joke.
He's a 6'6" freshman from Highland Mills, New York. The other freshman is Christoph Serjessen from Denmark.
They think Paul has a chance to be really special. They are really excited about him.
Having seen both of these players for 2 games earlier in the year, there's definitely a lot of material to work with both of those players. First foul of the game is on Serjessen.
Number 24, Gustav Serjessen, his first team first.
Gilpin had a nice game the other day against Southern New Hampshire. Finds Colton Lawrence. Spots up for 3, comes up a little short.
Well contested, though.
Gears defended by Richmond, turns the corner. Gears kept the dribble going but lost it. And here's Richmond in transition.
Bentley's lucky he lost his footing there because he had a seam to the basket here right in front of us, Steve.
Wheeler is fouled on the pass-off.
An extra step there on his way, but good job by Wheeler putting pressure on the defense. Going right into the chest of the defender to get the whistle.
College fouls, number 3, Cody Ball.
Cody Ball.
Team second.
Called for the foul. Richmond for 3 at the top of the key, and he's off to a good shooting start for Bentley. Always a good sign.
It's going for the Falcons overall. Richmond with 5 of their 7, but an early advantage here.
Fortin just barely catches iron on that jump shot.
Strange attempt there by Fortin, who's usually a better decision maker.
Hard baseline drive by Lawrence. That's where he excels. He scores off the window.
He's a tank to rain. Defender's chest there. Cody Ball, and great job. They're putting pressure in on the defense, and you can tell Bentley wants to get right to the rim. St. Anselm at times can be very susceptible to that penetration drive.
Now, when you have an inexperienced front court,
yes,
it's always bound to be a little bit inconsistent. Fortin runs right over Wheeler. That's an obvious charge.
And Fortin with 2 really bad decisions, does not like him at all. He's a very good floor general for this Hawks team. He contested 3, which I thought was a bad shot. And he got in the paint there, and he's got to recognize Wheeler's just waiting for him. He's got to jump stop, either kick, make a better decision there, because that was an easy call for the officials.
Fortin does sort of the other stuff really well. He's 3rd in the conference in assists, over 7 per game. He's 6th in steals.
He's a good player.
Gilpin, nice touch pass to Lawrence, who misses the acrobatic layup.
You just got to go up there and get hit. And don't avoid contact, just jump up and get the foul.
Fortin, frankly, had 2 pretty bad games in the opening weekend here. He's bounced back since then. Here he feeds Gears, tries to get Gilpin off balance and makes a tough shot high off the window.
Tough shot by Gears. And he threw that up there, expected contact and a whistle, maybe an in-1 opportunity. No whistle, yet somehow he found a way to get that one down.
Richmond for 3, and he's unleashed early. 8 quick points for Ryan Richmond, and the Falcons have a 7-point lead.
Terrible job by the Hawks there, Steve, going under that screen. And Richmond read it beautifully and said, you can't leave me this wide open. He made him pay.
Ball makes a nice catch in the corner, and the corner 3 is nothing but net.
He is, when he gets it rolling, as I said, he and Richmond for Bentley both feeling good early on here. Richmond with 2 threes, now Ball with 2 threes.
Lawrence, another power drive baseline, sheds the defender and scores again. And Lawrence back quickly on defense, comes up with a steal. The Falcons, though, throw it away. Richmond's cross-court pass too high for Wheeler.
It's a silly pass out by Richmond. I mean, Wheeler, what's he going to do with it? 45 feet away from the rim. Just keep your dribble and go forward.
Kyle Bouchard is the first substitute of the game, replacing Lawrence.
Almost didn't recognize Kyle with a different look this year.
That's right, you haven't seen.
No, I've not seen the Falcons yet this year.
Bouchard sporting the beard. Nice pass in the corner. It's Fort now the receiving end from Gears, and he drains the three.
That's that NBA action where you slide a shooter down to the end line as the player penetrates the rim, and Fortin did a great job in Gears. Those two have logged a lot of minutes together. You know exactly where the other is at all times.
Hawks a good three-point shooting team, third in makes, second in percentage. Both teams are just under 40% from three-point territory.
Job by Paul there defensively.
Bodies up Wheeler, who tries to slip away.
Wheeler got away with an extra step there as those two continue to battle. Upperclassman versus freshman there.
Bentley's 7-point lead has been trimmed to 3. Here's Paul on the drive. Serjessen. Gears defended by Wheeler on the perimeter. Straight away, deuce for Fortin is too strong.
That's another shot I didn't like from Fortin, quite frankly. That's a contested long two there, and that's a shot Bentley will live with every time down the court.
Richmond right side. Wheeler keeps it alive, but out of bounds. A couple of substitutes for the Falcons. Sophomores Seth Stankiewicz and Chris Hudson in the game. Mello Klein and Gilpin take a seat. Bentley 6-2 overall. 4-1 here at the Dana Center. The first loss obviously coming the other day against Southern New Hampshire. St Anselm has only played 2 true road games, and they've split the pair. And here's Gears for 2, so he gets tangled up with Bouchard a little afterwards.
A bit of a dirty play there by Gears. He thought he was fouled and then sort of took Bouchard down off the ball there.
Stray pass by Stankiewicz, intercepted by Serjessen. Now the Hawks have a chance to take the lead. Gears with a hard drive inside, stripped away by Hudson. Battle on the ground. Gears tries to call a timeout, but it's a held ball, which will stay with the Hawks.
Good call there. No possession there. No more reward than with the timeout call. But good job defensively there. Gears is very good when he gets going downhill like that with a full head of steam, and a good help defense there by the Falcons to bottle them up.
Senior forward Kyle Green entered the game for the Hawks. Bouchard defending Gears. That's an interesting cover. Gears gets it back behind a screen for the lead. Comes up short on the 3.
This game is going to be played up and down, Steve. Look at this one to get in the 80s, if not the 90s, before all is said and done.
Yeah, these two teams certainly don't mind scoring. Bentley tops in the NE10, averaging just over 90 a game. Excuse me, the Hawks at 84 a game. Hudson misses inside.
He actually poked it away from his teammate there, Wheeler, underneath.
These two always seem to play aesthetically pleasing games against each other. They play similar styles. Weapons. Paul with a 2 in the corner, and the Hawks take the lead after being down by as many as 7.
Paul for 2.
I think this is just the game the way it's meant to be played. They both played the game the right way, use the 3 to their advantage. Obviously, both teams will shoot it at a high clip, and it leads to a lot of baskets and a lot of offense.
Hudson inside on a nice delivery from Richmond. He gets his first 2 and the first 2 bench points for either team.
Richmond is a willing passer. Obviously, score first type guard, but he's a willing passer, as you saw there.
Wheeler commits Bentley's first foul. These two teams have seen each other a lot over the years, and it's been very close over the years. 48-44, the all-time series in Bentley's favor. They split a pair last year, the home teams winning each time. Richmond was fantastic in the 2 games, 32 and 34 points in the 2 meetings last year. Since departed members of the Hawks had great games against Bentley. Chris Braley had 26, Harrison Taggart 28, and there's Gears, who is on his way to another big game, finishing with the left.
He is very special. Been that way for many years, but watching the growth and development of his game is really something to watch.
Stankiewicz advances, shut off short corner. Bouchard powers it up on the right side and gets the bounce.
Tough move by Bouchard, finding some airspace there. It didn't look like he had any whatsoever. I thought St Anselm did a good job there in the penetration, but Bouchard just out muscling his way to the rim there for the 2.
The team's trading the lead here in the early going. Gears, step back 2, short. Gilpin snags the rebound. Stankiewicz, statistically one of the best three-point shooters in the country, second in percentage. Turned down an opportunity, now gets it back. Tees up the tree in the corner. That's short.
So he sort of faded after he released that.
Over 61% coming into this game from three-point range.
Remarkable.
Somebody else is shooting better than that in the country, if you can believe it. Gears with another one of those power drives and finishes in traffic, and drives and finishes in traffic, and has something to say afterwards.
There's been a handful of times he thought he's been bumped on his way to the rim, but still finding a way to get it to go down.
That's the kind of thing that seems to just fuel him to play harder. Gilpin with a nice drive to the cup, and he gets on the board. Teams continue swapping the lead.
It's funny because you talk about the high-scoring Tilton. It's not like these teams aren't defending. It's just the offense is so good. The offense beats defense. Good offense beats good defense. And it's not for a lack of effort or a lack of quality defense either way, Steve.
Richmond and Lawrence back on the floor for Bentley, and the first appearance for senior Austin Neidiger for St Anselm. He had a career-high 27 in the opening game of the season on this floor. And there's Gears again, and he's got 10.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be one of those days where you look back and Gears is up around 30-plus points.
Mello Klein's lefty floater off the foot of the rim. Lawrence kept it alive but couldn't keep it in play.
Substitution for the Falcons back to the game. Number 25, Brandon Wheeler.
Well, for Bentley, a couple of the harbingers of victory seem to be shooting. If they shoot over 50%, they win.
Remarkable fact, isn't it?
The two losses have come when they've shot under 50%. And similarly, in the 6 wins, they've outshot their opponent. The 2 losses, the exact opposite. Yep. So it's not really a harbinger. It's right now
it's just that simple, right?
Right now it's a fact.
Yeah.
Fortin misses the 3, kept alive by Paul.
He is long.
And Gears at the foul line misses the deuce. Of course, Bentley shoots 51% overall as a team, so naturally they're shooting over 50% in a lot of individual games. Here's Richmond. Sends it to the corner to Mello Klein. Gets it back from Wheeler.
A lot of ISO action here for Bentley.
Mello Klein takes the 3. Paul above the pack for the rebound. Hard dribble down court, takes it to the basket, and we'll get to the foul line. Couldn't quite finish it, got sort of ahead of himself and tried to reach back and score, but he's going to get a couple of free throws anyway.
His ability off the bounce there was impressive, Steve. I mean, he had that dribble for a long time and did a good job to jump into the body of the defender, Mello Klein. He slaps his hands in disgust, probably thought he should have converted that one for a chance for an and one.
First free throws of the game for either team. Paul averaging just under 7 a game. Makes the first. He's now 9 of 14 at the foul line this year. Hawks as a unit at 74%.
This is my first look at the Hawks, and you could see why they're excited about this young man in this freshman class as a whole.
1 for 2. Starter step by Richmond. Blocked out of bounds, so we'll stay with Bentley.
Interesting, they're using Paul's size and length to defend Richmond, although he takes a spot on the bench. So trying to bottle up Richmond with a bigger defender. Now they switch and put Gears on as those two all-conference performers go head-to-head.
Approaching the midpoint of the first half, it's been a tight, competitive game. Bentley led by 7 early, and now a jump hook by Brandon Wheeler ties the game. 7 different Falcons have scored.
Patient move there by Wheeler.
Gears defended by Richmond again. Fortin jumps into some space and gets grabbed. Mello Klein picks up his second foul. And he comes out. Stankiewicz and Bouchard return again for Bentley.
Substitutions for Bentley back into the game. Number 20, Kyle Bouchard. Number 12,
hard drive by Fortin to the bucket, and he gets it down.
Tough shot there. It made it look pretty easy. It jumped off the wrong foot on the near baseline and still found a way to use the glass for 2 more.
Richmond pulls up for a long 2. Bouchard tried to save it but couldn't quite do it. And we get a timeout on the floor called by Jay Lawson. Hawks by 2, 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Lest we forget, Jacob, the same.
Suffering a tough loss the other day at against St. Thomas Aquinas, but those two seemingly have separated themselves a little bit in the southwest side.
Lemoyne is 5-0 in conference play, 8-2 overall. St. Rose 4-1 and 8-3. St. Rose will be in here at the Dana Center next month for the next home conference game. New Haven is behind them at 3-2 in conference play as Gears scores again. He's got a dozen.
The St. Rose team is still operating without one of their stars as well, so they should only get better going forward.
Wheeler to the basket. Scoop shot is good for 2 more. So the back and forth we go.
You got to get him off his strong hand there. It's just too easy for a skilled player like Wheeler, an upperclassman, knows what he's doing, and got to get him to his left there instead of letting him get to the right and finish pretty easily.
Let's see if one of these teams can put together a little bit of a run to make this something other than a trade basket situation. Gears tries to go baseline for Sir Jessen, but it's off the ankle of Gilpin with 12 on the shot clock. And both coaches are looking to get some stops and get a run going. Rebound tipped out to the perimeter, grabbed by Fortin. Hawks get another chance. Green posting up against Stankiewicz. Tries to hold his ground. Green has the size advantage and scores.
Fortin literally told him once he got that ball in the low block that you had a mismatch. You could hear him barking down to him down the low block. Go to work. Ended up finishing with the right hand. Well done.
Stankiewicz closed out on the 3 by Green. Keeps the ball rotating. Wheeler again to the lane. Scoop shot, and again scores. We've seen that 3 times now. All 3 of his buckets have been almost carbon copies of each other.
Good job using his body there as well. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to fit through there, but did a good job to find space and just sort of scoop it up with the right hand at the last second. Now he comes away with a steal.
Cross midcourt, pitches out to the wing. Open 3 for Richmond. Got it. And the Falcons go back ahead.
That's a great job by Wheeler, taking that extra dribble and forcing the defender to commit to him. Knew he had Richmond all the way along. Great run out there by Wheeler, setting it up for his running mate, Richmond.
Gears mid-range buries the jumper to put the Hawks back ahead. Gears with 14, Richmond with 11.
He is.
They've come as advertised.
Good. Yeah, I mean, Stars play at a high level. It's really fun to watch, and that's what we've gotten thus far the first 12-plus minutes.
Backdoor cut by Gilpin, and he finishes against the defensive Green.
This one is playing as expected. Both offenses clipping at a high percentage.
Neidiger, top of the key tray, rims out. Richmond with the rebound. Bentley the lead in the basketball. Haven't had a chance to say much of that. Richmond's 3 is blocked by Gears, but he stays with it. Into the corner. Stankiewicz, a couple of foot fakes. Nice job to get Neidiger up in the air. Misses the shot, though.
Did everything right, but finished the product. He got right to the rim. Great job using his body. Great footwork.
Neidiger on the cut, uses the glass to get his first points of the game.
Neidiger for 2.
Take a breath.
Good luck. This one's into the 80s easily.
It's a nice pace. It's certainly easy on the eye.
Yeah. It's like watching an old school NBA game.
Gilpin trying to back down Gears. Turnaround jumper high off the window. 2 more for Gilpin.
Tough shot by Zach Gilpin. He made that look much easier than it actually was.
The variety of shot making in this game has been pretty good.
Well contested, I thought.
Gears turns the corner, pump fakes, step through, and 2 more.
Tim Gears.
16 for Tim Gears, who was, by the way, past the 1,200-point mark in this game. Did it early. He's rising up the all-time scoring list at St Anselm. Gilpin behind a screen for 3. And Gears with the rebound. And a timeout called by Keith Dixon. As much to get substitutes in the game for both teams as anything else.
So it changes both ways here after this. We resumed a live action here. But
getting back to Tim Gears, he's got 16 now, 12.
A lot of the student athletes throughout this conference, but you're right. When all is said and done, Gears is going to be one of the most decorated and certainly highest scoring athletes in St. Anselm history. And I think he would like to add a couple more titles to his resume before all is said and done.
Substitutes each way, including Jimmy Panzini with the basketball right now, transfer guard for the Hawks. Here's Sir Jessen. Nick Burton on the floor for Bentley, some early action. Matt Turkington on the floor for Bentley, some early action for him. Falcons trail by 1. So we push the 5-minute mark. Bouchard fouled by Sir Jessen on the drive.
Oh, Bouchard and Gears then.
Yeah, that's been bubbling up all day long.
Yeah. What happened? The first sequence happened after Gears thought he was fouled in the layup, and then Bouchard running down the floor, and Gears really tangled up with him, I think intentionally. And then that time, Bouchard got into the paint, and Gears sort of slapped at him as he went there after the foul had been called.
Let's just say those are two guys who don't mind showing their emotions and where they stand on the floor. They get after it.
Yeah, they are probably the fiery leaders each way, quite frankly.
So Jessen's foul is his second, so he goes to the bench. Green returns.
They're both pretty well defined physically as well. So, and Bouchard certainly a weight advantage and a height advantage, but Gears not going to back down to many. We know that.
Turkington right side three with the shot clock running down, misses it. Panzini transferred from Lafayette. Cody Ball back on the floor. Here's Gears. Make contact with Bouchard. Ball on the drive. A little bit out of control. And runs over Bouchard. He takes the charge.
Ball was 100% out of control there. It's second foul on Ball as well, so it's a big one. He got that good start, remember, Steve, with a couple of early threes, but that time got into the paint, jumped up in the air, and good job defensively there by Bentley with the rotation, drawing the player control foul.
When you talk about that trio of Gears, Ball, and Fortin, how nice is it to have experienced perimeter players who can produce?
Oh, in this guard-heavy league, guard-heavy game of college basketball, and to have those three guys.
So Southern New Hampshire has the same thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, top three. Close to out of bounds.
Turkington again for three, and this one is good. A step-back triple for the senior from Cromwell, Connecticut. A nice contribution from him. Gives Bentley the lead back with 4 minutes to go. And quickly commits a foul. Only the fourth team foul against Bentley.
Bentley University foul to number 30.
Amidst everything that's done well in this first half, the officials have maintained and controlled this game outstandingly well. They've let these student athletes play and made the calls they need to. They've not gotten in the way at all.
9 fouls called, but only 2 free throws in the game. That certainly helps the pace and the tempo.
Flow and the watch, absolutely.
Turkington trying to defend Paul. Gears in the corner, takes the three over Hudson and drills it. The first 3 of the game for Tim Gears, but he's got 19 now.
It's hard to defend much better than that. High hand by Hudson made him reload, and Gears just too good.
Richmond tries to get it back, and he does. 4th 3 of the game for Richmond. So again, one star matching the other.
Wow.
A lot of fun when the big names are on song.
And this is what we're watching here.
Gears again, this time at the top. Wide right on the 3.
That was an answer effort after Richmond made that triple.
You don't think they noticed that, do you? Richmond with the hesitation dribble gets in the lane. Tries to bounce it on a backdoor cut from Bouchard, but Panzini quick thinking got
had
there.
the matchup he wanted to. He's met by Green on a switch. I'm surprised he didn't try to exploit him off the bounce.
Cody Ball straightaway 3. Rebounded by Bouchard. Panzini tried to jump the passing lane. Richmond got there first.
And again, that's a good no call right there. Didn't affect the play. Right team ended up with a possession.
Bouchard's pass knocked out of bounds by Gears. Colton Lawrence back for Bentley. Fortin returns for St Anselm. 2.5 to go. It's been airtight. Bentley had a 7-point lead early, but that seems like a long time ago now.
It's been nip and tuck pretty much for most of the balance during the first 17.5 minutes. It's been fun to watch. It really has.
I think if you look at last year's 2 games between these teams, 91-85 and 91-86, as Hudson collects and scores inside, we're certainly on that same path today.
Absolutely right. And this is, it's cliche, but so many of these any 10 games between 2 evenly matched foes come down to 1 or 2 possessions.
Gears has his shot blocked out of bounds. Lawrence and Turkington defending. Sometimes the saying styles make fights. When you have 2 teams with contrasting styles, it makes for a fight. These 2 have similar styles, but they're very compatible in the way they play each other. So you kind of know what you're going to get,
no doubt.
But it's no less enjoyable.
No doubt. There are no secrets. They both learn from the same cloth as Paul just takes his eyes off the ball, leading to the unforced turnover. But these 2 coaches, as you said, they're college roommates. They go back a ways. They both know there's no secrets. I mean, they could probably call the other team's plays the rest of the way here, and it wouldn't be much different the way that this game plays out going forward.
Richmond is getting closer to the 1,000-point mark. 9:34 as we stand at the moment. Lawrence to the basket, misses the drive, stays with it. Picks it up baseline. See if he can find a teammate. Gilpin open for 3. Got it. Great job by Lawrence to stay with the play, eventually find an open Gilpin. A willing shooter, and Bentley has taken a 7-point lead. It's a little surge here for Bentley if they can establish a beachhead before the half.
Good stretch here.
Richmond called for his first foul, 5 on the team. Turkington trying to defend against Fortin. Now Gilpin on a switch picks him up, but Fortin makes the mid-range jumper anyway.
Taylor Fortin for 2.
7 for Taylor Fortin. Just when the Falcons look like they might be establishing some room. Richmond misses the turnaround after a nice move.
Beautiful move, just couldn't finish the product. Outstanding ball fake.
Fortin feeds it to Paul. A shot is blocked by Turkington. Paul looking for a foul, but nothing doing there. Great recovery by Turkington, who's given Bentley some really good minutes. Gilpin now trying to back down the smaller Fortin. Jump hook rolls off the iron. Kept alive. Saved sideline by Neidiger. Into the final minute of play in this first half.
Bodies here at this juncture, Steve.
Gears harassed as he gets in the lane. Fortin open 3 in the corner. 5 in a row for Taylor Fortin.
That's a tough thing to do. He didn't handle it. He dropped it. He was scooping up off the deck with a defensive player diving at him. He buries that triple, and he's into double figures.
So just when it looked like Bentley was trying to create some space, response by the Hawks, and a miss by Richmond leads to an over the back against Gilpin. Still no bonus. It's team foul number 6, but the Hawks are going to get it in an opportunity to just about take the last shot. And wouldn't it be fitting in this first half for it to end even?
Bentley University fouls number 33.
Austin didn't appreciate the call, but
Team 6.
and again, coaches never like a call against them.
It's been a beautiful first half, I got to say.
Gears defended by Colton Lawrence. Tough assignment for the freshman, but he certainly has the athleticism to stay with Gears. Gears tries to get him off balance, splits a couple of defenders. His shot is blocked, grabbed by Gilpin, and that's going to bring us to the half. So an entertaining first half for sure. Ends with Bentley on top by 2. Unsurprisingly, Richmond with 14, including 4 threes, led the way, but Gilpin with 9, Wheeler with 6, providing good support.
Not surprising, these 3 are veteran officials. All 3 of these guys have worked NCAA tournament games. That's the caliber of officiating crew we have today. It showed during the first 20 minutes.
Jordan Mello-Klein with 2 fouls for Bentley. Cody Ball and Gustav Sergessen, 2 fouls each for St Anselm, so no real foul trouble. Both teams are with their original starting 5s on the floor. Zach Gilpin for Bentley with the first shot, and he hits it.
Good job by Mello-Klein getting into the paint of the St Anselm defense and kicking it out, draw the 2 defenders, kick it out to the open guy, knock down the shot.
Gilpin, who averages 13 a game, has 11. He's 5 of 7 from the field.
He's a really nice player.
Fortin with a bounce pass inside to Sergessen, but he can't hang on to it.
They love that baseline dribble drive and sending up a cutter to the basket. It's been a hallmark of Keith Dixon's teams for years.
The key there is the dribble drive guy. You have to respect him as a scorer every single time, whether it's Fortin, Gears, or Ball.
Exactly right.
Wheeler tries to bump his way to some space against Paul. Strips it away and out of bounds with 14 on the shot clock.
Wheeler has about 30, maybe 40 pounds on Paul. He's just trying to wear him and bang him down low. Paul did a good job just to get his hands in there to deflect it away.
Richmond trying to get Gears up in the air, but he held his ground. Shot clock at 6. Gilpin identifies, takes the 3, short. Ball runs down the long rebound. Into transition he goes, and he finishes with the left.
Good job by Gears. They're going end to end there, and again, when he gets ahead of steam going north-south, he is nearly impossible to stop.
21 for Cody Ball. Colton Lawrence with the nice drive, and he's had his best game in a couple of weeks here with 6 already.
He's looked very good. This is my first look at Lawrence, and he's impressed.
He's a very athletic player, and when he puts his mind to the dribble drive, he can be dangerous. So can Cody Ball, who's just hit his 3rd 3 of the game.
He got off to a good start in the first half, then kind of went missing.
Wheeler has his shot deflected by Paul.
Good defense there by Paul, and again, he forced him to his left that time. Wheeler's better when he goes to his right.
Numbers up at the other end for St Anselm, but it's Ball who finishes it off.
Good bounce there. Very good end-to-end sequence there by the freshman Paul. Good job defensively on Wheeler. Then at the other side, little quick touch pass down low, setting up Cody Ball for the easy 2.
Paul is so much more comfortable obviously, since the opening weekend. Finally get some games under your belt.
Unsurprising.
Sergeson as well, although he hasn't had as much of an impact on the game. Gilpin short on the 3. Hawks with the lead and possession. The game has already fallen right back into the pattern we had in the first half. Paul against Richmond, who gets no help defensively, and Paul takes advantage by scoring.
Nearly impossible shot there. I thought he was bottled up and then somehow found a way.
Richmond to the cup, a little contact, scores anyway. 16 for Richmond.
This is like a park game. Just 1v1 type action, great back and forth.
A whistle off the ball, and that's against the Hawks. Might be Sergeson picking up his 3rd.
Big call. He's been really unable to get on track, and he'll come out of the game after that foul.
Played 11 first half minutes, had 1 rebound and 2 fouls.
And he has not been in rhythm as of yet. He actually, a player that didn't handle that pass from Fortin a couple possessions ago, and just has been unable to get on track thus far.
Richmond for 3. Can't get it down. The last touch off of Kyle Green, who just came in to replace Sergeson. Kyle Bouchard making his first appearance in the half for Bentley. And Matt Turkington, who had a really nice half for Jay Lawson, played 6 minutes, hit a 3, grabbed a rebound, blocked a shot.
Did some good things.
Sort of unexpected.
Yeah, did some good things. Players like that can determine these close affairs.
Bouchard, hard baseline drive against Ball. Pass hits the underside of the backboard, picked up by Ball. Angled off by Richmond. Pass inside, intended for Green, is tipped away by Bouchard.
St Anselm ball.
So if we get that big run or a run for a team.
A little run might be enough to justify a victory here.
St Anselm enjoyed a 31-7 tear, and they went over St. Michael's in their last outing. And there's Taylor Fortin with his 3rd triple of the game.
He started off very slowly, but he's heating up.
Richmond, under duress, forces a shot up, looking for a whistle, doesn't get it. Falcons yet to take a free throw.
Surprised he didn't finish that. He did a great job to get to the rim. I think he was worried more about the contact than finishing. He was right there.
And there's Fortin again with another 3.
We're talking about.
Well, back-to-back 3s. This is their largest lead of 7, and Jay Lawson says, time to talk about it. And he calls a timeout. Just about 4 minutes played in the second half. 57-50, Hawks have the lead.
Great run to start the second half for St. Anselm. Not a huge deal, but 15-6, the margin out of the Brown. After that, I don't know. I got 4. How's that?
It's okay.
Who am I missing?
Not bad.
Who am I missing?
Not sure you're missing
Who
anybody.
am I missing? Give me a 5th. I need a 5th.
Well, we can continue talking.
I got to get another one.
We'll get back to that.
I mean, it could be Day Andrews
next
for
break.
Southern Hampshire, quite frankly. You saw was outstanding the other night.
It was. Rejection by Paul and a great save baseline. Unfortunately for Bentley, it goes off of, unfortunately for the Hawks, it goes off of one of his teammates. But boy, a nice block from Paul and a
I
great
like
save.
him a lot. I like Chris Paul a lot. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block. He's a very steady player. And just doing a lot of everything as a freshman. I am impressed.
Yeah, we got to travel here against the Falcons. Well, certainly with Chris Paul, he's not a player that has the scoring onus on him. That's the benefit of having the perimeter players of that caliber. And it's going to be the same way next year because Gears and Ball have another year to go. And I've already talked about Gears. He could end up in the top 10 at the end of his junior year, at the end of this year. So he's got a chance to really finish way up there. And here he is launching a 3. Falls off the iron. Falcons facing a 7-point deficit out of the timeout. Can't let the Hawks get too far away from them, that's for sure. Southern New Hampshire had the better of the second half the other day against Bentley. Falcons tried to rally late, but weren't quite able to do it and lost by 9. Behind the screen, Gilpin for 3, knocks it in. Important answer for the Falcons. Gilpin got 14 now, his second 3 of the game. Sort of fits the way this game is going. Neither team has taken serious control. A couple of chances here, and Fortin with the finish.
Half for Fortin, he's working on. He's already at 8 in the second half, Steve.
18 overall. The big 3 for the Hawks have all but 9 of their points. Almost feels like an NBA dynamic. You've got your 3 scorers, and then other guys do other things.
Absolutely.
Richmond steps up to the plate for Bentley. He's got 18 as well.
I mean, we've said it throughout, but when stars play at a high level is all you can ask for, and that's what we've gotten so far this afternoon. It's been just an awesome game to watch.
Gears looking to initiate his offense against Hudson, who gets a piece of the shot. Falcons keep it in play.
Hudson's done that a couple times against Gears. Very good job defensively there, moving his feet.
Mello Klein, the hard drive and the reverse layup, getting away from Cody Ball. Second basket for Mello Klein today, and the Falcons chipped the lead down to 2 after it was at 7 and threatening to be more. Could have been 10 if the Hawks had a 3 coming out of the timeout. Ball with a wild drive, misses it. Hudson secures the rebound.
Shot defensively by Bouchard, sliding his feet there and going straight up.
Richmond gets away from Gears. Shot won't go. Wouldn't have counted anyway. It was before the shot. So the wait for a free throw goes on for Bentley.
Gears arguing that Richmond sort of sold it. I think Gears has been frustrated that he hasn't gotten those same whistles the other side.
Well, nobody's had those whistles today, really. First foul on Gears. Mello Klein in the key, misses the jumper. And Green rebounds in the face of Chris Hudson, who didn't reach in and try to knock it away, which would surely have been a foul.
2 big bodies, they're going after one another.
Fortin works off a screen from Green. And now it's Cody Ball defended by Bouchard. Mello Klein got a hand on the pass. Fortin takes the 3 anyway. Rebounded by Gilpin and an over-the-back foul on Chris Paul.
Just a silly play by Paul. It's an easy one. You just live to fight another day.
His first, 3rd on the team. Falcons have yet to commit a foul in this second half, which is almost 7 minutes old.
That's remarkable.
Bentley a chance to tie with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. Richmond squares up against Green, likes his mismatch. Pull-up jumper in the key is no good.
Boy, that's twice he's been met by Green, and twice he's settled for contested jumpers. I'd like to see him back it out there and use the bounce and see if he can get by Green on his way to the rim.
Fortin pitches to the corner to Chris Paul, who's not a shooting threat from there. Gets it back to Fortin, who takes it right to the rim and scores. Whew. Make it 20 for Tyler Fortin.
And you can tell he's feeling it right now. Fortin doing a great job just operating on the end line.
He had an excellent game against St. Michael's the other day. 23 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Gilpin to the basket, fouled by Fortin. Didn't think it was a foul at all. But I think we're finally going to get Bentley free throws. 27 and a half minutes in. How's my mouth?
You're right.
So it'll be Zach Gilpin that does the honors for Bentley, which is a good thing because he's a good foul shooter. 16 of 21 this season at the line. And the junior from Hamden, Maine, rolls it in. One of 4 Maine natives on this Falcon roster.
Jay Lawson's done such a good job of cultivating that area.
Yeah, there was a kid named McFarland a few years ago. Remember him? A player named Furness. Another one named Highland. They were pretty good from what I hear.
I mean, coaches find areas, and Jay Lawson is just, it's a lightly recruited area, and he has just owned it. He's gotten a lot of the best players out of that state to come down here to Waltham.
Well, here's the thing with Maine is Falcons nearly forced a turnover. Only one Division I program in the state, University of Maine, no D2s, and a handful of D3s, good ones, but still. So that leaves a large state.
Find a niche.
Got to be players there.
Find a niche.
Out of bounds with 6 on the shot clock.
People do not understand how difficult it is that the coaches at Division II level, at any level in this New England area, there's such a concentration of schools. You can go outside the area and just find a little bit of room.
Fortin, corner 3. Finally cools down a little bit. Green with the rebound, though. Ball tries his hand from the other side and splashes it home.
I'll tell you, his 4 threes, Steve, have barely touched the net, let alone the rim. His jumper is so pure. You can take a picture of that thing.
No, Keith Dixon had to go a long way to recruit him. He's from Londonderry, New Hampshire.
Right next door.
It's about a 10-minute drive.
Yeah.
Wheeler, nice feed inside for Hudson. He gets a couple players up in the air and finishes in traffic.
Good pump fake there and finished. St. Anselm did a good job there contesting that.
Interesting, though, that Ball is one of only 3 New Hampshire natives on the roster. The other 2 really don't get much playing time. Gears to the cup, misses the drive.
Good contest. Well done defensively there. I think it was Hudson.
Here is Hudson in the front court. Richmond straight away for 3, in and out. And Ball with the rebound. Gears right side. Wheeler defending. In the post for Green, defended by the smaller Richmond. We saw him take advantage earlier in the game in that situation, and he does it again. Second bucket for Green. They came in identical circumstances. Pushes the Hawk lead to 5. Bentley get rallied after going down 7. The Hawks have answered. The handoff from Hudson to Richmond draws contact from Fortin. And he picks up his 3rd foul.
Fortin's trying to sell the screen there from Hudson. I thought the official was right there and made the right going forward. I like the pair that St Anselm has, and very much in the balance. But there's not been anybody that's like a Jafar Hayes from a year ago who just single-handedly dominated from basically the moment he stepped foot on that campus.
St Anselm shooting 56% in the game. Bentley at an even 50, so the shooting continues to be good. Gilpin back to Wheeler. Shot clock at 7 for Bentley out of the timeout. Wheeler, top of the key 3, had to get a shot off.
Coming at us.
Comes up short.
Coming at us. Get it, Steve.
I got that one.
Good job.
Save the equipment.
Good job.
Good defensive sequence by the Hawks. That time Bentley had no real look there.
Well, a few times we mentioned the shot clock today, that's for sure.
Last 10 minutes, the game might be not quite as free-flowing as it was earlier.
Well, the possessions become a little bit more valuable.
Ball misses almost everything on the 3. Just nicked the front of the rim. Knocked out of bounds by Green, who tried to keep it alive.
You could sense that one when he released it. He was actually sort of falling back. And ball, when he's going forward, he's much better and much more proficient shooting from beyond the arc. The most outstanding player in the NA10 championship a year ago, Cody Ball, when he sort of had his coming out party as a star in this conference.
Gilpin tries the 3. That one's too long.
Tough thing to do there, to sort of see and think about it, pull it back, and then to re-trigger. And that one missed badly.
Gears tries to get free from Mello Klein. Decides to send it back out to Neidiger, who takes the drive to the rim and scores.
It's a strong take there by Neidiger with the left hand. Surprised Gears passed up that opportunity against Mello Klein.
Largest lead of the game. 7 for St Anselm. Richmond misses the jumper. Tipped out by Colton Lawrence. Goes to Richmond. Slaloms through traffic. Gets a defender up. Gets the shot to drop.
Ryan Richmond for 2.
Nice perseverance by Lawrence to keep it alive. And Richmond, despite some contact, finishes the shot. Bentley needed it.
I've liked what I've seen from Colton Lawrence today. As I say that, he gets called for a bump on Gears, but
it's only the first foul on Bentley in this entire half.
Wow. That's amazing.
Hawks have committed 5.
Bentley is typically among the least fouls called against from Jay Lawson. They play the game the right way.
Bentley could do with a stop and a basket.
Foul on number 24.
Cody Ball on the drive. Pours water on that thought with a nice banker.
Good recognition there. You saw the defender, Bouchard, sort of slipped down awkwardly and then attacked him.
Bentley hasn't had many answers for the Hawks' 3 stars today.
3 guys.
57 combined points out of the 70.
Could all get into 20 by the time Ball, the only one that's 4 away.
Mello Klein turns down the 3, takes it to the rim for 2 instead.
He plays at a very good pace for a freshman. He really does.
He doesn't play like a freshman.
No.
The decisions are always good. He may not play great, but his decisions always seem to be good.
He plays at a good pace, which is something to be said, especially for a young player.
Fortin, a dribble drive, had it poked away by Gilpin out of bounds.
He was part of a good high school team, was Mello Klein Sharon, before he decided to prep for a year. Skilled player. Nice fit here at Bentley. Good fit for him and Jay Lawson.
Shot clock at 8. Right side, Ball for 3. Got another one. Woo. 5 threes for Cody Ball, 19. And if it's not Gears, it's Ball. If it's not Ball, it's Fortin. If it's not Fortin, it's Gears. You just go in a circle with that.
And that's the thing with having 3. That separates you. You can have 1 or 2 gone, but when you have that third, it's very tough to beat.
And this is now the largest lead of the game for either team. Richmond's going to get to the line. Nearly got the 3-point play opportunity, but it wouldn't drop. Green on the contest, and the foul sends Richmond to the line for the first time. Dangerous time here for Bentley. Down by 8. The Hawks have got those 3 guys going, and Bentley needs a response.
Yeah, I think the next 2 minutes or so, we look at this game, Steve, at about the 5-minute mark. We'll see whether Bentley has a shot to come back and win this one, which obviously the offense and the ability they do, but they need to do it over there. You can't try to erase an 8-10 point deficit with 5 minutes left. They got to cut into this over the next 2 minutes.
Richmond, an 81% foul shooter, makes the first of 2. And the second as well. 22 for Richmond. He's the game's leading scorer. And a step back in the right direction for Bentley, trailing by 6. Gears maintains the dribble. Gets it back. He's only got 1 bucket in this half.
It's amazing.
Ball's done a lot of the work, so is Fortin. Ball as it poked away briefly by Bouchard. Now Green in the post. Turns down the opportunity. Back to Ball for 3 more. Unconscious Cody Ball. 22 for Ball.
I thought Bouchard played that perfectly, too.
Not much more you could do about that. 9-point lead. You can work hard, you can get to the line, but it's tough to cut into the lead when a guy like Ball is just hitting shots effortlessly.
And as a defensive guy, it drives me crazy. But
here he is again. Corner 3 for Ball. You knew that was going in. The second he stepped back.
And that's a great job by St Anselm, recognizing you had the hot hand right there. That is a great job by Tim Gears, especially saying, I know my guy number 3's got it rolling. I'm going to find a way to get him a shot. They used a little screen action, little pick and pop there, and Ball with another triple, his 7th of the game tournament. But I think this group has a little bit of chip on their shoulder. It's not a great start to their season, quite frankly, and that loss to Southern Hampshire where they had a big lead late, a double-digit lead with about 7 minutes left. And they've come out and they've played very well, especially here in the second half, Steve.
They followed that up with a 15-point loss against Merrimack.
It was hard to fathom.
Bouchard with a nice move inside, scores. First time in this half he's scored.
Well set, good, well diagrammed set by Jay Lawson out of the timeout there, getting a layup.
Gears posting against Richmond. He might try to get his offense going. Turnaround jumper, well contested, and Mello Klein up for the loose ball.
That's a terrible shot when you're up by 10 with 6 minutes left. You got to work the ball around and get a better one.
Mello Klein to the basket. Off the glass, tough angle, couldn't get it down.
It's well contested defensively there by the Hawks as well.
Fortin turns the corner, gets across the lane. Back it goes to Gears, who sees some room open up to the basket. He goes, misses the drive. Tipped out by Green, straight on 3. By Neidiger, won't drop. Falcons get a break there. Gilpin rebounds.
It's a big trip for Bentley here. Chance for them to get it back to single digits. A little bit of momentum after a couple of consecutive stops on the other side.
And things have gone a little quiet here. They need to bring the energy up a little bit more. Richmond works on Green. To the basket he goes, and a nice finish for Richmond. 24 now for Richmond. Hasn't made a 3 in this half after making 4 in the first half.
A better job on help there. It's just too easy for a player as skilled as Richmond.
Makes it an 8-point game. To the basket goes Fortin, too strong on the drive. Wheeler with the rebound. Falcons try to get going in transition. Richmond right wing, pull up 3 from the right. Got it! Nice feed by Wheeler, and Richmond drills the triple, and it's a 5-point game.
It's a very quick spurt here. 7-0 run out of the timeout. And all of a sudden, this game has changed drastically.
You wouldn't have expected otherwise.
No.
These games are always going to be close. No. Nobody runs away from each other. Fortin, right elbow extended, too strong. Maybe the magic has gone out of his shot, but he gets it back on the offensive board by Green. Turnaround by Neidiger. Baseline is
shot by Neidiger. Catching that and fading away from about 10 feet on the baseline. That's a tough shot.
It all came about with an offensive rebound. Falcons try to get it back here. Gilpin a little bit out of control and is going to be called for a charge.
It's a big call because if that goes against Fortin, it's his 4th. Granted, there's only 4+ minutes left, but that was a 50-50 whistle, and Fortin did a good job to sell it. Gilpin a little bit out of control there, Steve. I think that's why they rewarded Fortin with the player control foul.
Well, for Bentley, they got the 12-point lead down to 5. Now it's back up to 7. So once you gain some ground, you want to at least hold the ground and then try to make up some more. At this point in the game, if you give it back, there's not a lot of time left. And Bouchard is called for a foul 28 feet from the basket against Neidiger.
It's tough also when you continue to work and grind back and never get it equal or take the lead. I think St. Anselm's done a pretty good job of keeping them at arm's length for the better part of this half. After a good start early in the second half with that little run to get that little 7-point cushion. Bentley's had to sort of climb uphill for the better part of the second half.
Ball to the basket. Can't get it down. Lawrence is fouled by Green, I believe. Colton Lawrence holding his wrist.
hurt a finger or something like that.
Green doesn't believe it was a foul, but it is, and that puts the Hawks over the limit. And so Lawrence, who looks like he's holding his...
St Anselm College foul on number 14.
Is it his right hand? It's hard to tell.
Team 7.
Huh.
Lawrence at the line, shooting a 1-1.
In any
Ask
case,
you if he's okay.
Substitution for the Falcons into the game. Number 25.
Colton Lawrence, 6 points in the game, 11 for 15 at the foul line this season, with just under 4 minutes to go. Bentley trailing by 7. They could do with a couple of points, and the clock stopped. Hits the front end, which earns him a second shot.
It is his right hand. He continues to sort of shake it out a little bit.
Falcons a perfect 6 of 6 at the foul line today. 8 for Lawrence, and he'll come out after making the second shot and cutting the lead to 5.
It's a big trip both ways.
Ball defended by Wheeler. Poked it away, almost took it away. Now it's Gears, so I don't think it's sat all day. And Fortin, who's barely sat, ball for 3 off a screen. Wide right, another offensive rebound for the Hawks as Bentley
2 consecutive
can't
possessions now. They can't control the first shot rebound.
It's damaging to give up points in this situation. Gears with a nice move on Mello Klein. Can't finish
Oh,
it, and
man.
a very late whistle.
Oh, man, that's an NBA whistle. If that ball goes in, there's no whistle called there whatsoever. The official waited to see if the ball went down. Then he blew the whistle. I'm surprised I didn't get more of a response from Jay Lawson, quite frankly.
You know, he may be in the ear of somebody as they walk down at the other end.
Oh, boy, that's tough.
It's either a foul or it's not. It's not. Let's wait and see if it goes in.
Getting an explanation now from another official did not call it, but
Yeah, there's really no explanation for that. It's either a foul or it's not.
that's an NBA whistle, and it's frustrating.
And meanwhile, Gears makes the 2 free throws. So
And again, that second opportunity, see 2 times down the row, Bentley gets the first stop miss, and they can't control the defensive rebound.
Mello Klein jumper in the lane. Nice soft touch, and it drops. 8 for the freshman, back to a 5-point spread as we approach the 3-minute mark. Somewhere along the line, Bentley's got to get a stop and a defensive rebound.
Yeah, the first, not the second or third. Oh, terrible pass.
Gears looking backdoor to Neidiger, but there was no angle for that one. Mello Klein to Wheeler in transition. He's way off balance. Forces it up and misses it. Not a good choice at all.
Bad decision by Wheeler. Pass probably wasn't great either, setting up a position where he couldn't do much with it.
Now, once it's not a good pass, I'm going to just save possession and recycle it. Can work it in the half court. Green in the post looks for a cutter in Gears. He misses again. He's missed a bunch of shots at the rim in the second half. Here comes Mello Klein across half court. 2.5 to go. Bentley trailing by 5. Be nice to get a score here and make it a 1-possession game. Richmond has Neidiger on the back foot. Now Mello Klein looks to go baseline. Tough finish at the rim. Jordan Mello Klein with a bucket again. He's into double figures, and it's a 3-point game. With 2:10 left.
A couple of big-time shots by the freshman. A little baby jumper in the paint, and then that finish exploding in the baseline. That was the right call.
Blocking foul
That was the right call.
against Bouchard. I think he may have been in the circle.
I had a great vantage point of that line. I thought Bouchard slid in there late. I thought that was the right call. Bentley bench thought for sure it was going to go against the Hawks. I thought that was a good call. I think this officiating crew's done an outstanding job today.
Austin Neidiger with 6 off the bench. He'll step to the line for the first time. He's only taken 8 free throws this year, having made 6 of them.
He's giving them a nice slow spark off the bench. I mean, their big three is clicking. They don't need much, but a little complimentary play here and basket here, and Neidiger's done that for him.
A senior from Glenville, New York, makes both.
Upstate New York product who's done a good job to work himself into the rotation pretty consistently.
And Chris Paul replaces him in the lineup. Back to a 5-point deficit. Richmond just lets it roll. Now looks to attack Green on the drive into the corner. Hudson to the basket in traffic. Gets hit, and we'll get to the line for a couple of free throws.
Surprised they go with Hudson in that spot, but he pays off by getting a trip to the line.
Richmond had lots of company as he made his way into the lane. Knew there was somebody open somewhere. Ends up being Hudson. Solid game for Hudson off the bench with 6 points.
He's done
Chipped
well.
in with a couple of rebounds and a block shot. He's defended well, too.
Yeah, he's done a very nice job. He's helped in bottling up Gears, a couple of penetration opportunities. He's done a good job, I agree.
Hudson now 8 of 10 at the foul line this season.
Hawks going offense for defense right now with Neidigger and Paul.
Both teams with multiple timeouts remaining, so as this gets down to the final 2 minutes, that's another option for both coaches. A couple free throws for Hudson. Again, makes it a one-possession game at 85-82.
See if Bentley can get a stop here.
Green and Neidigger play catch. Gears comes out to get it. Hand off to Ball. Patient possession by the Hawks. Fortin stepped on the end line. Kind of position they wanted with people in the basketball moving. They just didn't count on Fortin stepping on the baseline.
Yeah, Fortin not really recognizing where he was there. He loves to operate, as we talked about, and it's a killer because Neidigger's jumper subsequently went in.
And so Bentley down 3 has possession. Could have a chance to tie. Plenty of time, though.
Yeah, you don't need a 3 here at all.
Richmond, look. Again, defended by Gears and everybody looking to help.
This is where Bentley can't stand around and just rely on Richmond and Richmond only.
Richmond ISO against Gears. In the lane he goes. Got up in the air, finds Mello Klein. Fires it inside for Gilpin. Squeezes it up and in. Nice finish by Gilpin inside. Dawkins show good patience, and it's a 1-point game with 1 minute to go.
And a great pass there by Mello Klein, finding Gilpin on the baseline.
Ball in the corner. Falcons have committed 5 team fouls. Gears across the lane for Chris Paul, and he's fouled on the shot. Nice pass by Gears to open up the space. Hudson got a piece of him.
And that's a good foul. I mean, otherwise he's going to get uncontested layup or a dunk. It's going to be easy to make the freshman go to the line and make 2 sort of pressure-packed free throws.
He's 1 for 2 at the line today. 5 points for Chris Paul. Also a native of the state of New York.
Good foul.
Yep, no go on the first one. Definitely a good foul. Otherwise, it was a layup or maybe even a dunk. So either way, assuming Bentley gets a rebound here, this is a 1-possession game, a 2-point game, and not necessarily a 3-point game with 48 seconds left. Converts the second one. Bouchard replacing Brandon Wheeler. Gilpin, Mello, Klein, Hudson, and Richmond on the floor for Bentley, along with Bouchard. 48 seconds to go, down by 2. Big game here at the Dana Center. Falcons looking to come from behind. They trail by as many as 12. Richmond picks up the dribble, looks for some help. Gets it back. Green is the defender, with others looking to hedge in there. Richmond to the basket, spins it up and in off the glass. Oh, what a finish that was.
Everybody in the gym knew Richmond was going to attack, and somehow he found some airspace there. Great English there off the glass to tie this game up.
Hawks can basically hold for a shot. There's about a 1.5 second difference between the game and shot clocks. Keith Dixon decides not to call a timeout. Here's directing traffic. Richmond on him. 8 on the shot clock. Gears right side of the lane. Picks up the dribble. Head fakes. Fires up a floater. And he gets fouled with 3.9 seconds left.
Gears is looking to pass that basically the entire way at the last second, almost as he's hitting the ground. He throws it at the rim and draws contact.
30 feet and in, you take the shot.
Yeah.
There's no way,
Yeah.
no way around it.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go with Gears. He has 2 free throws here, and all net on the first. He was such a good free throw shooter. You would not expect him.
He's phased by those timeouts.
No, not at all. In fact, he might welcome it.
Gets a chance to catch his breath.
Perfect on the second. He's got 25. And another timeout is called, so Bentley knows what they're facing here. They'll have to go the length of the floor.
Just St Anselm did show some token full court pressure there.
Put it in play. It's the same set that Bentley had, except Richmond is in the front court, Mello Klein in the back court.
Yeah.
Nobody is on Gilpin. He looks for Mello Klein. Turns up court, over half court. Fires for 3 in the win, and he's short, and that'll do it. So the Falcons come up just a little bit short, fought back from a 12-point deficit, tied the game, but a couple of free throws from Tim Gears wins it for the Hawks, 88-86.
A thriller. I mean, as a heavy